All right, guys. So we are going to have Kate do an amazing training, and I am going to have this in replay so that you guys can share later on, especially for people joining the business, because today Kate is going to be diving into our Rejuveniqe oil. And I messaged her and I was like, okay, can you do a product training on our oil? We haven't had one yet. And I feel like it's so important to know, like we have this beautiful crown jewel, but I'm like, have we even done a training on just the oil? Because when you start to look into all of the ingredients in our oil, it's amazing. So Kate was like, yes, I would love to do that. So she's going to be sharing all about the oil, and I'm sure all kinds of knowledge bombs. So make sure you have your pen and paper. And if you're watching on replay, make sure you have your pen and paper. I have my pen and paper because I know I'm going to learn. So Kate, you can go ahead and take it away, my friend.
Awesome. I'm so excited. So this, obviously, as many of my product knowledge trainings is going to be very heavy with the scientific terms. And by the way, if you're just hopping on, make sure that you mute yourself so that it's not distracting. But what do we know about our oil? Oh, and one other thing I wanted to say is there's going to be a lot of scientific terms and names and words I'm going to be throwing around there, and I'm not, for the sake of time, I'm not going to define them all. So what I want you to do is on your page of notes in the corner or something, I want you to have Google, and then you're going to write down any word that you don't know what that is to Google for yourself, because that's what I do, and it's really helpful. So I am going to go into the notes. And by the way, if you see me looking like this, it's because I can't keep all of this in my brain at all times. So if I'm looking over here, it's my notes, and I'm famous for getting off track. So I'm going to keep concise on here. So what do we know about our oil? We know that it comes in a pretty silver bottle. We know it looks fancy. We know that it is in over 80% of our hair products. I actually have a list specifically, because it's a smaller list, of the products that it's not in. So if anyone's curious about that, you can either look it up in the resource library and compile your own list, or you can just ask me for mine. And we know that our oil is silicone free. We know it's filled with 13 plus amino and essential acids, right? And we know it's awesome. So one thing that I'm going to go into, because you're going to hear me saying the word acid a lot, something acid, something acid. These are fatty acids that I'm specifically referring to in this training. The reason why fatty acids are good for our hair and our skin is because in our diets, we need to have fatty acids, the omega-3s, the omega-6s. They're the building blocks of healthy cell membranes. And so we are constantly including these in our diet and using them in it's great to have them in your hair and your skincare routines, because it is a natural oil barrier. It keeps skin hydrated, plumper, younger looking. It can boost your hair growth by supporting your skin and your scalp. A huge proponent that can be associated with hair loss is deficiencies in our essential fatty acids. So if you're curious what those are, put that on your Google list. So I'm going to go into all the different oils. This is going to be pretty wordy. So I'm going to go into the different oils that our Rejuveniqe is consisting of. And I'm just going to kind of break down. You're going to hear a lot of repetitiveness because a lot of these oils have very similar properties to them. So by the end of it, I'm just going to be like going through that list because you've already heard it 7 or 8 times. So the first oil, and I'm just going to go in the order of our ingredients list, because if you don't know already, our ingredients list is listed by like most concentrated in our product line versus least concentrated at the end of the line. So the most amount of oil is going to be that first ingredient, and the least amount in the last ingredient list is going to be the one at the bottom. So the first one is called meadow foam seed oil. I'm going to butcher all the scientific pronunciations for these, but it is listed as Limnanthes alba oil. So meadow foam seed oil is actually used a lot in cosmetic and hair care products because of its stability, its emolliency, which means the ability to hydrate and to create that smooth and soft skin feel. It's extraordinarily stable, and it's mainly because it contains over 98% long chain fatty acids. Those are really good. We like those in our hair and our skin. And the seeds of the meadow foam contain about 20 to 30% of that oil versus the rest of the plant, which is why they use the seed to extract oil from. Everything else is like a little bit more widespread, and the seed is more compact. So it is a fast absorbing, non-fragrant, somewhat waxy type oil, similar to jojoba. So if you have your Rejuveniqe and you are, playing with it and you're getting that dropout and you can feel that it's very viscous, it's a little bit thicker, that's a component as to why it feels that way. It's really rich in texture, and it creates a barrier formation. So it's gonna lock in moisture when you apply it to your skin. It contains antioxidants, which can help extend the shelf life of other oil blends. And the color is light golden. You'll notice a common theme in all of our ingredients is many of the oil colors are pretty light golden, gold, light yellow, pale yellow. There's some that are dark, dark brown, and that's going to help bring the goldenness out in our oil. So that's the first one, that's meadow foam seed oil. These are the top two oil bases of our oil, meadow foam seed and Abyssinian oil, which is the cranberry Abyssinian oil blend. This one is really cool. This is probably my favorite out of all the oils. This is what makes Rejuveniqe really, really cool, in addition to all the rest of the ingredients. They all kind of work together, but this is the base. And the reason why they chose this as a base is because it has a super tiny molecular structure. So it contains 55 to 60% uric acid, which is a long chain fatty acid. It's actually, a fun little fact, it's native to Ethiopian highlands, and it has a biodegradable profile. So it's used a lot as a natural substitute for synthetic mineral oils. For our skin, that means that it has a concentration of really intensely nourishing omega-9s, which is a non-essential fatty acid. That's the one that our body doesn't produce. So that's really cool that we have something that is able to incorporate into our skin because it's the only one we're missing naturally. It closely mimics human sebum, which is the oil that we produce. And it can control the overproduction of sebum, which can lead to acne, and it's really great for skin that can lose moisture easily. It's a very stable and long-lasting oil. It rapidly penetrates the outer layers of our skin and deeply nourishes it while it's providing a smooth and soft layer of protection against dehydrating. Again, because it can really dive in deep to your pores. This is the best oil on the planet. And there are, you can buy Abyssinian oil as it is, but it wouldn't be as cool as our oil because they've managed to produce a concoction that has a wide variety of really amazing ingredients that work together. So in addition to it being super tiny and super hydrating and amazing with its fatty acids, it has a high percentage of C22 fatty acids, which makes it very resistant to oxidation. That's going to be supporting it not evaporating off of your hair when your hair is drying. It also supports color not fading and helping color last longer if you get your hair colored. Color oxidizes. It has to do with the chemical reaction of oxygen in the air, essentially. So it's really cool because it's very easily absorbed and it doesn't leave a sticky or a greasy feeling. And it is anti-inflammatory, cell communicating, which means it helps produce cellular turnover. It's getting those cells moving, and it's very skin conditioning, helpful with skin regeneration because of that. I'm not even gonna go over all the acids that it's composed of, but it's really rich in essential fatty acids, which is great. Now, the next oil is called Camellia oleifera seed oil. This is also a omega-9 oil, and it has about 80% of it is its total fatty acid content. So that makes it really, really amazing as a transdermal carrier, and it's really effective in enhancing our skin and hair's ability to retain moisture. That's constantly what we're looking for, right? We're looking for things that help lock in moisture but not in the same manner that cyclic silicones do, because it locks it in, but then it traps it forever. So when that moisture is absorbed, there's no way for new moisture to get in. Our oil is really good because it creates a loose barrier so it can trap in moisture, but it's not going to lock everything in and eventually starve it, which is really great. So this camellia seed oil is also non-greasy. It's great moisturizer, like I said. It's just, it has like a lot of anti-aging antioxidants in it as well. So it's really good for that moisture and for that skin and cell regeneration support. The next one is a really cool one because you don't see this very often in the beauty industry as much as other oils that we see. And this one is tomato seed oil. So this one's great because it has lots of fatty acids, minerals, antioxidants. It's packed with antioxidants and vitamin E. I'm going to just go over a quick little list of like all the things it can help with. One of them is it aids cracked and dry skin. Because of its antioxidant properties, it lowers the appearance of wrinkles, sun damage, age spots. It's great for eliminating scars, rashes, stretch marks, acne scars, burns, any type of dry skin, psoriasis, eczema, cellulite, lots of skin problems. It promotes the growth of hair by increasing vitality and repairing hair split ends. And something really cool about this, because it has so many antioxidants in it, it prevents cancer development and neutralizes free radicals. So because of that property, it can block UV rays and prevent from sun damage, which, if you guys remember in my previous product knowledge training, our hair strands get sun damage. Our hair strands are composed of cells, and the sun can penetrate those cells and break them down, and that's what can create brittleness and breakage. So this oil is really amazing for helping prevent that happen. Another fun fact, it can help prevent the flu and infections and colds. So when you're putting it on your face, you're breathing that in. That's really good. That's like aromatherapy for you. Very helpful for helping boost your immune system. We have actually several kind of immune system and like kind of healing oils in Rejuveniqe, which is really cool. I don't recommend putting it in your diffuser because of its viscosity, but if we could, it would be amazing. Like that is like the big kahuna. So it also is one of those oils that has a little bit of a lighter viscosity, and it helps absorb well in skin. If we had all the oils in our Rejuveniqe have super thick viscosity, we'd be pouring like molasses onto our skin. So it's kind of good to have a variation of viscosities, like runniness essentially. So you don't want them all thick. So this is like one of the thinner ones, which is great. The next oil is carrot seed oil. This is different from carrot oil. Carrot seed is an essential oil, and it is extracted via steam distillation from the seeds of the Daucus carota plant. It's a flowering plant, and it's known for its white blossoms and carrot-scented roots. It can also be called wild carrot or Anne's Queen's lace, and it's not the same as carrot oil. So carrot seed essential oil has antibacterial and antifungal properties. The antifungal has effectiveness against yeasts like Candida. So athlete's foot, if you have an athlete's foot issue, you can totally put Rejuveniqe on that. That will help. It's also anti-inflammatory, which means it's smoothing to skin and scalp, and it has anti-aging properties with antioxidants. A really cool thing about the antibacterial part of it is it's shown to combat several strains of bacteria, which includes Listeria, staph infections, and a little bit lesser of a degree, but still a degree of effectiveness against E. coli and Salmonella. Don't really recommend washing your fish in it, but contact is great. Constantly be wearing this stuff. It'll pretty much protect you against everything in the world. Don't quote me on that, but that's, my ism about it. Next one is lemon peel oil. This one is super absorbent. So we have a ton of, like, really quick before I go into this one, we have a ton of citrus in our Rejuveniqe oil. And there is a reason why. It is very, citrus is really amazing. And you'll see in a little bit why. You'll see some commonalities in between the different citrus oils. Number one, lemon peel specifically is very absorbent, also antibacterial, also antifungal. It's an astringent, which means it reduces inflammation in the bacteria that causes inflammatory acne. So if you've got like a red zit popping up on your face, that's because there's an infection going on underneath your skin. That pore is infected. And lemon, aka the astringent in the lemon oil, is really great for getting rid of dead skin cells that clog pores. So helping with that cellular turnover in your skin. It can be very conditioning. It's obviously very fragrant. If any of you guys smelled lemon or, you know, peeled off a lemon peel, it's like in your face with that zing. It also helps decrease hyperpigmentation, like acne scars, and it's antimicrobial. Lime oil, very similar to lemon. It's astringent and antibacterial, packed with antioxidants, helps reduce the dark spots on your skin, and reduces wrinkles and brightens your skin. Bergamot fruit oil. Who knows what bergamot is? Does anybody know what it is? Anybody? Bueller. It is a type of an orange tree. If you guys are familiar with Earl Grey tea, bergamot is used to flavor your Earl Grey tea. It's actually one of my favorite Earl Grey teas, so I'm obsessed with bergamot. I love the smell of it. Like most citrus, it has antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties. Bergamot oil, it makes a very effective spot treatment for acne and people who do not have sensitive skin. Now remember, we have our oil is jam-packed with a bunch of different things. So the concentrations of them are much smaller than if you were to straight put bergamot oil right on your skin, which, by the way, in all essential oils, never put it straight on your skin. That will burn you. It's not good for you. They're very, very, very concentrated. Always kind of diffuse that with a carrier oil, which is like our Abyssinian oil in here. That's our carrier oil. Abyssinian and meadow foam seed oil, those are our carriers, and then everything else is our essential oils, and all of them are jam-packed with amino acids and the like. So bergamot oil has analgesic qualities, which makes it effective against painful cysts and pimples. So meaning it kind of kills infections in your skin. So it's really great. Like, I don't know if any of you put Rejuveniqe Light on your skin as a part of your face routine. It's absolutely amazing. If I am breaking out anywhere, I put a little extra right there. It's usually gone the next morning. It's incredible. Really cool thing about bergamot, when you smell it, it is great for stress reduction. So you'll have reduced feelings of anxiety and fatigue. It can relieve depression and other mood disorders by signaling the brain to release dopamine and serotonin. Those are our feel-good hormones. So another great thing about using Rejuveniqe on your face, in your face routine, and in your hair for oil treatments is it just makes you feel good. It's a mood booster because it's signaling your brain to release those chemicals. And it also reduces pain and inflammation. Anti-inflammatory, so that's great with that. Next oil is Addissonia digital oil, aka the baobab tree, which is native to Africa. Fun little fact, because I was researching this and I absolutely love this, so I wanted to share it. It's also known as the tree of life because of the fruits that are full of nutrients that it possesses, especially in the dry season. It can store gallons of water in its trunks, which is a major contributor to the oil content of that tree. And actually, in like the dry seasons in Africa, the elephants and a bunch of animals will eat the tree bark because of the amount of water in it. So the benefits of this oil includes oil cleansing, massaging, you can use it to massage, rejuvenation of skin cells, restoration of collagen. It's skin nourishing, great as an eye serum, makes your hair glassy, insulates that moisture. It's healing, it's anti-inflammatory, amazing for chapped lips. I don't know about you guys, Christina Smallwood did a training a while back, and like right before the beginning of it, she just sat there and put a little bit of Rejuveniqe oil as a lip gloss on her lips. And as you can see, I'm like a chronic lip biter, so that's gonna heal that right up. So you can use your Rejuveniqe as a non-sticky lip gloss, which is great. I see Alexa's putting it on right now. It's perfect. Yeah, there you go. You're missed. I love it. Okay, so back to the baobab tree oil, aka Addisonia digital oil. So this tree produces a fruit that is believed to be one of the most nutritious on earth. The powder from the fruit has more antioxidants than any fruit in the world. It's gold and it has a yellow nutty smell, the oil, and it has a shelf life of 2 years, which is really cool because it helps elongate the shelf life of the oil blend that you're using, which is kind of why our Rejuveniqe products, like they say 12 months because they kind of have to, but they can last a little bit longer than that. Maybe a little bit longer than a little bit. It makes your skin feel super silky smooth and your hair. It has all 3 omega fatty acids, the 3, the 6, the 9, and it's rich in many other exotic fatty acids that are absent in a lot of different oils. I'm not going to include the names of them because I'm going to butcher the heck out of them, but it's a whole bunch of different fatty acids. And then there's also vitamin A, vitamin E, vitamin D, and vitamin K, which is great. Okay, the next one is called Mauritia flexuosa fruit oil, aka buriti oil. And that comes from the Maurice palm tree in the Amazon, not like your website where you buy stuff from, the actual Amazon. So this oil is great because it reduces the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. It helps lighten dark spots caused by sun exposure, restores skin elasticity, protects the skin against photo damage, helps protect our skin membranes by surrounding skin cells, which keep the skin cells healthy for longer. It has those great emollient, hydrating properties, which help to rebuild, moisturize, and rehydrate skin cells. Our skin cells need support. As we get older, our body doesn't produce as much. Like you see that newborn baby and their cheeks are so smushy and squishy and they're so soft and they've got little fat rolls all over them. And then you see a really, really old person and they're very wrinkly with saggy skin and their jawbones are like very hollow. That's because as we age, our body is less able over the years to produce our own hydration, to produce, the cellular turnover and the collagen production and all that kind of stuff. So it's very helpful, which is why our hair and our skincare is anti-aging, because it's helping replenish that into our skin that our body may not be able to create on our own as we age. It's just life, and fortunately, we have great technology to help with that. So this buriti oil also has anti-inflammatory properties. It is the richest natural source of beta carotene, which is an antioxidant. It's rich in the fatty acids, contains vitamin E and vitamin A, and it can be used in all skin types, but it's particularly suited for dry, mature, and aging skin, eczema, psoriasis, and other skin conditions. So I actually had a girl send me a message the other day after I gave her her product recommendations, and she was like, I have like severe eczema, so I need to make sure that I'm using, products with like very simple ingredients, with like not a lot of ingredients. And I was like, actually, fun fact about ingredients lists, just because they're long doesn't always mean they're bad. Our products are specifically made for eczema skin, for skin issues, for aging skin. They're very helpful. They're dermatologist approved. They're ophthalmologist approved, which, by the way, if you don't know what an ophthalmologist is, it's essentially a doctor that studies the eyes, meaning our products are not going to cause blindness if you get them in your eyes when you're shampooing. So they're very, very helpful for making sure that everything about you is protected when you're using the products.
Can you hear me?
So, Alexa's raising her hand.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. Oh, wait.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
You. Yeah.
Okay, really fast. One of the things that people say whenever they talk to me, I just had to bring this up because you're on the subject of it. People are like, why is the ingredient list so long? You guys, if this contains Rejuveniqe oil, if you look at the back, the entire middle section from here until here is all Rejuveniqe oil. Okay. So if you guys have that thing that comes up when people are like, there's so many ingredients in it, I just have never seen an ingredient list this long. Well, it's because this has 13 essential oils in it, and this is in this. So they list They don't just say Rejuveniqe oil on the back. They list all of these beautiful oils that are in it. So I just had to share that really fast because it was something that I was like literally in my shower and I'm like, well, yeah, because we have Rejuveniqe oil, duh.
Yeah.
So
If you actually look at our bottles that do not have Rejuveniqe oil, for example, the Intense Repair Treatment Spray, there's like 5 ingredients on there. So like when you erase the Rejuveniqe oil from the products, many, many less ingredients.
Yes. Sorry.
And all of them are pretty much anti-inflammatory, which is awesome. Okay, so back to the ingredients list. Coconut oil. We all know a lot about coconut oil, right? This is probably a very widely talked about oil. So I'll probably just like fly through this one and give you a couple things that you might not know about it. One, it contains a lot of fatty acids. Obviously can improve moisture content of dry skin and reduce symptoms of eczema. Like we know, it is antimicrobial and antibacterial, which means that it can help protect our skin against harmful microorganisms, and it can protect against hair damage. It actually can work as a weak sunscreen. It blocks about 20% of the sun's ultraviolet rays, the UV rays. So when you combine the ultraviolet blocking properties of coconut oil with a couple of the oils that have the UV blocking properties, you're creating a nice little sunscreen for your hair and your skin. Obviously, don't use this as your only sunscreen. Put a mineral sunscreen on top of your face because we need it. But your hair is good. It's dead. It's not living. Your face, living. So you want to put a little bit extra protection on the living stuff. It has its anti-aging properties. It's high in vitamin E and vitamin A, which slow down the aging process and help reduce the damage from the free radicals and the sun, like I was talking to you about, which, by the way, free radicals are basically unbalanced cells. They're missing a component. So it's a damaged cell, essentially, and that antioxidant is the perfect little plug-in to neutralize that free radical, and then it's like a nice, happy cell again. So a little brief breakdown, because you are probably hearing me say free radicals and antioxidants a lot. They are helpful for each other. So it's also, coconut oil is great for skin health, skin infections, can help with acne, cellulitis, folliculitis. That's an infection of your follicles. And athlete's foot. Again, there's the athlete's foot again. Anything caused by bacteria or fungi, very helpful. So if you have skin issues, put this stuff on it. It will help so much, is essentially what I have to say about that. It has anti-inflammatory and antibacterial properties, like I was saying. Gardenia extract, next ingredient. This is an antioxidant. It contains ferulic acid. Ferulic acid is one of nature's most powerful antioxidants in plants, and it serves as a self-preservation mechanism that helps strengthen cellular walls against damage from microbes or the sun. Ferulic acid is incredible. We need that in our products, and luckily our oil has that. It is, when it's applied topically, ferulic acid helps enhance your tone, texture, and overall elasticity of the skin. And it supports collagen and hyaluronic acid content in the skin. Hyaluronic acid helps retain moisture in our skin. It gives your hair, your skin better, healthier, plumper, more youthful looking glow. Helps fight those aging free radicals and prevents further UV damage. It also has a mild anti-inflammatory and antiseptic property, which makes it an awesome ingredient to include in skincare products. Helps kind of refresh, revive, smooth, drier, tired looking skin. Moringa oleifera seed oil. This is indigenous to India. It is a non-fragrant plant oil, and it has lots of antioxidants, and it's a great source in fatty acids, helps replenish the skin, and helps guard against moisture loss. Are you guys seeing a trend here with every single oil that Monat put inside here? They are amazing for fatty acids. They are amazing for anti-aging, anti-inflammatory. They have antioxidants. This is an incredibly healing oil, which we already know, but we're just gonna break it down a little bit further. So moringa seed oil contains those amino acids, which can have a really calming effect because it also has plant sterols. So it'll have that calming effect on your skin. It's very light. It has a mono unsaturated fat content, which gives it a lighter and less greasy feel than highly saturated oils like coconut. So depending on like how saturated the oil is, or unsaturated or mono unsaturated, that depends on how like thick and viscous and greasy feeling. Mono unsaturated is much, much lighter. The oil from the seeds is about 40% monounsaturated fatty acids, and 70% of that is oleic acid, which is a really, really amazing fatty acid that's very like hydrating, creates a lot of suppleness in our skin and hair. Obviously your hair can't be supple, but it's very, very hydrating and helps prevent cell damage with your hair. So the great thing about oleic acid is that because it's highly moisturizing, but it can also protect us from external things, such as those micropollutants in pollution, and it helps seal in hydration. So it's going to help repel. So our natural sebum is like a magnet for like dust and dirt and like pollutants in our air. Our natural oil loves to suck any of that in. These oils, this oil is a repellent for all of those things. I'm going to go into at the very end why that is really cool. So I'm not going to get into that now, but our oils are repellents for pollutants and stuff like that. All those like microorganisms that love to attach themselves to us that we never even see. Don't ever put a microscope against your head. It's not pretty. So it soothes inflammation, and it has those antimicrobial and antibacterial and antifungal aspects of it as well. It's very moisturizing, has strong antioxidant properties. Again, really great oil. Next really great oil is the, I'm gonna botch this one, Cariocar brasiliensis fruit oil. This oil comes from the Brazilian pequi tree fruit. It's very pale yellow, or it can be dark amber depending on the extraction process. The aroma is like a fruity, sweet, kind of nutty type of aroma, and it's extracted from the seeds of that pequi tree from Brazil. And it is jam-packed with nourishing vitamins, minerals, that contributes to the moisturizing and treatment capabilities. It has potassium, carotenoids, which are those omega-3, 6, and 9s, vitamin A, vitamin D, antioxidants. They have a lot of really cool benefits for hair specifically. It can make your hair soft and smooth. It restores shine to that dull and brittle hair. And really quick on that, a lot of people who don't use Monat and use different types of oils that are usually loaded with cyclic silicones say, my hair is really shiny and bouncy and soft. And when I switch over to Monat, when I first started using it, my hair got stripped of all my shininess. What happened? Well, because they were fake. You had fake shine on your hair. And when you use Monat for a significant period of time with these oils and clearing off all that stuff, these oils help promote that natural shine in your hair. Now, the natural shine is created because your cuticle, the outside layer of your hair, kind of looks like tree bark a little bit. When it's damaged, it's sticking out and it's getting stuck and your hairs are getting tangled up. And when that cuticle is smoothed down and completely healed, it becomes more of a reflective surface. So the sun is going to be bouncing off of that, and that's where that natural shine comes in. And these oils just kind of help boost that by healing your hair and also just helping it be a little bit shiny. So that's a little bit of a tidbit about that. It's lightweight, so it can be used daily. It has a protective barrier that locks in moisture a little bit longer. It's amazing for frizz reduction. This pequi oil is incredible for frizz reduction, which is why if you use the Rejuveniqe Light, I've got both of them here. If you use the light as your finisher after you style your hair and you're like, oh, just a little bit frizzy up here, I just want to smooth that out. Take a drop of that and just kind of whoop, it's gone. It's like magic. And that's because of that oil. Sunflower seed oil, a little history about it. The sunflower was cultivated by American Indian tribes in 3000 BC. Long time ago. The tribes would actually use parts of the sunflower plant to help soothe snake bites and condition skin and hair. Great. It's a great source of vitamin E. It's rich in nutrients, antioxidants. It's effective for combating skincare issues like acne, inflammation, redness, irritation. So for people who are like, Monat irritates the heck out of everything or whatever. No, it doesn't. It's actually the exact opposite. Pretty much almost every oil in here has anti-inflammatory and soothing properties, which is why it's really great for creating that ideal atmosphere for hair to grow out of, because it's going to get rid of any types of inflammatories and issues that may be going on your scalp. Helps balance everything out because of all the properties of all of these oils combined together. So it moisturizes your skin. It's high in vitamin E, great for fighting acne. It's rich in that beta carotene, that antioxidant I was telling you about. Because of that, it helps reduce signs of aging. It's great for dry skin. It helps soothe and heal your skin. And it's great because it has low levels of those saturated and trans fats. So it's going to help add moisture without being too greasy or weighing down your hair, which is really great. One thing to note about like all these essential fatty acids, our skin is created, our skin and our hair is created of keratin, mostly keratin, a couple other things, but mostly keratin. Keratin is protein. Protein is a combination of amino acids. Amino acids are a combination of fatty acids. Fatty acids are very important for healthy hair and healthy skin. So when you have damaged hair and you're applying products that have rich amino acids in them, like our split end mender and our oil, it's going to heal your breakage and stimulate your hair growth. Kind of smooth down that cuticle like I was telling you about. It literally heals it down, just glues it back together because those cells are damaged, and when you're putting those amino acids back onto it that were missing, it kind of like plugs it in. They plug into like all the like little puzzle pieces, and then they're, you know, happy and smooth and fabulous again. Okay, so we have two different oils. This is Rejuveniqe. We just went over every single ingredient in Rejuveniqe. This is Rejuveniqe Light. What is the difference between these two oils? Rejuveniqe Light has all the ingredients of Rejuveniqe, a little bit less of it though, right? Because they wanted to make it a little bit lighter, not as syrupy in consistency. So they added in a few extra ingredients. And I'm going to kind of briefly go over that because I know people are going to have questions about what those are and why it's different. The first one is called propylene glycol decaprylate/decaprate. People might look this up and be like, oh, it's a PEG. It's not. It's kind of like a cousin of a PEG, but it's much more minimal and it's not harmful. It's a skin conditioning agent, and it utilizes the fatty acid components that it has to maintain and improve lubrication and skin cell resilience, and it combines with proteins to promote healthy skin. So it's kind of like, because this is lighter in consistency, we still want it to be effective, so we added in a couple other booster ingredients to help make sure that it really does like penetrate into your skin. It also has another ingredient called butylphenyl methylpropional, which is essentially a synthetic perfume. Now, people are usually like, oh, synthetic fragrances, not all synthetic fragrances are bad. We covered that in our science versus gossip training. That was actually my question. Not all synthetic fragrances are bad. Some of them have parabens and a bunch of crap in them. Monat, if they use a synthetic fragrance, it's because they're extracting it in a lab to get the best possible outcome, and it's not because it has parabens or other preservatives or gross stuff in there. They keep everything very, very pure. So that fragrance, that perfume that's in there has a very strong floral scent. So that's going to kind of, because the oil composition in the light is lesser, we're adding in a little bit of extra fragrance to help keep it smelling absolutely delicious, like its counterpart. A couple other ingredients, I'm going to just kind of group them together. Citral, citronella, limonene, and eugenol, geraniol. These ones are all pretty much scents. I know. He's like, are you done yet? These are all scents. They're natural scents, so natural perfumes. They all are backed in citrus. So, you know, citral is the main component in citrus peel essential oil, has a strong lemon scent. Citronella similar, has a grassy citrus scent, and it has insect repellent properties, which is great. Limonene is extracted from the citrus peel, strong scent, has anti-tumor properties. It inhibits tumor growth, which is really cool. That's going to help combat any skin cancer that could be forming, which is why Rejuveniqe Light is really good for your skin. I know all of us have gone outside without SPF on our faces. Guilty, I've done it. Using this stuff in your routine is going to help combat formation of skin cancer. It's going to balance out those free radicals that are happening, which is where basically skin cancer is created. It's a bunch of free radicals looping together and like taking over your skin. So that's really great. Eugenol is it's an essential oil. It's a clove oil. It's antifungal, and it's also an insect repellent. Another reason why Rejuveniqe Light is great for your skin, especially in the summer when we get like bogged down by mosquitoes, which apparently mosquitoes are a thing in LA now as of a couple years ago, and it's driving me crazy. Aside, geraniol is a natural fragrance. It occurs in aromatic plants. It's a very pleasant fragrance. It also has properties like natural pest control. It's antimicrobial, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, our favorite words that all of our oils have. Another ingredient in there is hydroxycitronellol, which is a natural fragrance enhancer. It's derived from our friend citronellol, a couple of ingredients up. And the last ingredient is linalool, which is a compound found in essential oils, essentially a natural fragrance. So because our light Rejuveniqe oil is lighter, that means it's gonna have less fragrance than our regular Rejuveniqe oil. And so they put in a little bit of fragrance enhancers to help with that. Now, we went over Rejuveniqe oil, we went over Rejuveniqe Oil Light. One thing to know about our oils is that they are non-comedogenic oils, meaning they do not clog your skin pores, which is great. That's why you can use this oil on your face as a part of your face routine, because it's not gonna clog your pores. And I know a lot of people are scared about that. They're like, bah, oil on your face, the worst thing ever. Not this oil, it's great. Okay, really cool thing. This is kind of the last thing that I'm gonna cover. I'm gonna cover why Rejuveniqe oil is amazing for oily hair and oily scalp. It sounds counterintuitive, but it's actually incredible. So a fun fact about why it works well if you have a bunch of hair, scalp, face oil: it's going to make your hair follicles healthy by nourishing them. It's going to pull them out of distress. It's going to balance the pH of your scalp. But you know how sometimes we get that like grease spot like right in the back of our head that no matter what we do, it doesn't leave? Happens to a lot of people during their transition when they first started using the products, or if they just like use too much product and now you need to get it out. Do a treatment with Rejuveniqe oil and concentrate it on any greasy areas. So for people who are just starting out with Monat products and they've got greasy scalps, oil treatments are key. I always say every single person in this company, as a customer or a market partner, everybody needs to have Rejuveniqe oil. It is the reason why this product line exists, is because of this oil. Everyone needs to have it. So Rejuvenique's oil base is called Abyssinian oil, like we were talking about. Like we also mentioned, it has a super tiny molecular structure. It helps penetrate those hair and follicles, and it helps heal. It has that high percentage of C22 fatty acids, which makes it resistant to oxidation. So it doesn't disappear over time. It stays and does the work, and it helps keep your color from fading, right? We covered that. So Abyssinian oil is also known as a humectant, which means it attracts water and bonds with water molecules. Our natural oil, our sebum, does not. It is not a humectant. The science of shampoo and soap is a little bit confusing and in-depth, so I'm not going to go super deep into it. I'm going to keep it simple, but essentially when you shampoo your hair, the shampoo is a surfactant, which means it emulsifies oils and allows them to be carried away with water when we rinse it out, right? The molecules in our shampoo create these cool little like spherical structures called micelles. I think that word might sound familiar to us. They're called micelles, and what they do is they like grab a droplet of oil, which is then like in the middle of it, and then they can be rinsed away with water. So sometimes our hair will be greasy pre-shower and magically not greasy post-shower because of that cool little shampoo process. So if we have a little bit of extra grease left over, you got that grease spot that's really sticky and stubborn, because our scalp oils don't want anything to do with water, emulsifying them with the water-loving Rejuveniqe helps the shampoo do its work better to wash it all away. Meaning, when you wash your hair, if you do an oil treatment before your hair wash day, you don't have to use as much shampoo because Rejuveniqe is helping that breaking down process of those oils and dirt and grime. So how is that for making your bottle of shampoo last twice as long? And that is it. If anyone has any questions, I don't even know. We're kind of running out of time a little bit, but.
You're fine. That was so, so great. Hi, Paul.
Hey.
So here's the deal, you guys. Before everyone hops off, here's the deal. I don't know about you guys, but like I know a lot about our Rejuveniqe oil, and I just wrote down so much stuff of just like learning about this. So what I want you guys to do is I want to challenge you. I want you to go on your Instagram. Don't just get all this information and keep it for yourself. I want you to go share maybe the top 3 things that you just learned from Kate, because we just learned so much. Like I did not know some of this stuff, and I love that. I always learn from Kate. And so what I want you to do is go share your top 3 things on your Instagram stories. I've already shared that, like, I'm in this training. I already did a recording of Kate and all that. So it's super important for people to know first, you're getting product education, because that's one of the top things that new market partners always ask me is, well, do we get like product education? I'm like, yeah. And then we have people like Kate that come in and like do an insane amount of product training. So I want you to share the top 3 things that you learned. One of the things that I learned is that I'm going to be slathering this all over Shane's feet because he has athlete's foot during the summertime. So now he's just going to see another reason why he's going to put this on his feet. But this is some of the things where, like, if you hear all this stuff, like, are you kidding me? Helps to prevent skin cancer, blocks out all these UV rays. Like, people need to know this. So I love this training. And if you hear, as Kate shares, like, do you guys, that's why I started putting on the oil on my face. I started putting on my lips. I'm like, dang, I need to, like, I'm going to come back on here and I'm just going to be like,
oil slick city.
Yeah. I just took a shower in Rejuveniqe oil. I'm like,
watch Rejuvenique's oil sales like skyrocket after this.
that would be amazing. Well, now I'm thinking, like, why don't we have a freaking body lotion yet with Rejuveniqe oil in it and a chapstick? I think I'm going to go make myself a chapstick with our oil in it because, hello. So I'm going to have Kate give me the list of products that doesn't have the oil in it, so we can post this in our Facebook page and just show which ones don't have it. And then we're going to have this for replay and everything. I'm actually going to stop